Welcome back to Navigating AI with Apex Blue. I'm Lyric, and today we're building something every growing team needs, but almost nobody documents: a SOP Factory, a low-friction pipeline that turns tribal know-how into living AI-assisted playbooks. Stick with us for a practical 21-day pilot you can run this week. I want to open with a short founder story. Picture this. It's Saturday, payroll deadline. A client refund email gets routed to the wrong inbox. And because one tiny step was missing, that client didn't get refunded until Monday. Revenue hit, stress all weekend, and the founder spent the whole time apologizing instead of strategizing. One line in a SOP, literally, confirm refund processed in payments dashboard, would have saved the weekend. That's why we made this episode. Let's make it irresistible and useful.
Pattern detected. This is not a rare event. When critical handoffs live in heads or in Slack threads, teams trade reliability for speed. Today, I'll outline the minimal artifacts that actually matter when capturing a process, trigger events that start the process, condition bands that define when to take each path, clear success criteria so you can test, and safety flags that stop the wrong action. And we'll surface redaction rules so nothing sensitive ever leaves local control.
Love that. Keep it minimal. Quick question to everyone. What should a listener capture first when they're running their SOP factory? Don't overthink it. The single most valuable thing to capture early.
Start with your failure hotspots, the things that cause rework, customer complaints, or weekend fires. Those are high ROI. Capture the concrete trigger, the email subject line, the report that hits 0, the client message type. Then capture the person who usually handles it and how they verify success. Keep initial capture voluntary and pick an enthusiastic owner to show the way. Let the process be a win story, not a surveillance program.
And record the steps you can actually test. If it's 10 steps with loose language like follow up as needed, you've lost observability. Instead, Step 1, open payments dashboard. Step 2, search transaction ID. Step 3, confirm status equals refunded. That precise language makes automation and acceptance tests possible later. Precision wins.
To be explicit on redaction, treat any identifier as removable until you need it. Hash or replace customer names and IDs. Keep raw recordings local, and only feed de-identified evidence into any AI step. For the SOP Factory, our minimal artifact set is a short trigger description, a one-sentence purpose, a checklist of discrete steps, decision gates with condition bands, success criteria with measurable checks, and an explicit owner with contact and escalation lines. But store contact info only in your local, secured directory, not in the shared drafts.
Okay, let's pivot to how a human reads an SOP. We want something that a new hire can follow, but also that feels like a human wrote it, not a robot blueprint. Here's a template we love. Purpose, one crisp sentence. Prerequisites, systems and access you must have. Step sequence, each step a single action. Decision gates, the exact conditions when you branch. Escalation lines, who you call and how. And a what to say microscript for conversations with customers. That last piece reduces anxiety for staff and creates consistency for the customer experience. Humans love this stuff.
Add an acceptance test to that template. After you draft the SOP, someone who doesn't normally do the task runs one item from it under a peer's observation within 48 hours. If they can't complete it, the SOP goes back to draft. Track overrides so you understand when the SOP didn't match reality. That's how you tune it quickly and keep trust.
Now, the scrappy tech. For many small teams, you don't need enterprise tools. Capture flows, short voice memos for tactical how-tos, a tiny form that records trigger and owner, and a quick screen clip for multi-step UI tasks. Use local-first tooling to transcribe audio to ephemeral text, put raw audio on the device, produce a redacted transcript that removes identifiers, then feed that sanitized transcript to a conservative AI draft step. Version your templates with a simple Git style history or even a time-stamped folder so you can roll back. Deploying now, ephemeral evidence bundles, local-only raw storage, and a separate sanitized draft that circulates for review.
Let me add specifics on redaction automation. If your transcript contains anything that looks like an email, phone number, or invoice number pattern, automatically replace it with a token before the transcript leaves the device. Keep a map of tokens to raw values locked on the owner's device and accessible only for acceptance testing. That way, you never leak PII into shared drafts or AI services.
Stryker, you mentioned local-first transforms. For listeners who aren't engineers, can you sketch a 30-second do-it-yourself recipe that a small team can implement this week without heavy infra?
Absolutely. Step 1, use a phone voice memo or Loom for a 90-second clip of someone walking through the task. Step 2, run that file through a phone app or a small desktop tool that transcribes offline. There are lightweight local transcribers now. Step 3, run a simple find and replace for patterns like emails and cards and replace with tokens. Step 4, paste the redacted transcript into a shared draft template and label it Draft V0. Step 5, assign the acceptance tester. No cloud exposure, minimal tech. Architecting the fix here is about removing one friction point at a time. You don't need to automate everything from day one.
From an operations lens, the governance is what keeps this living. Who owns review? We recommend the process owner, the person who performs the task, and a separate reviewer who represents quality or a downstream team. Acceptance tests should be lightweight. Pass one concrete check within 48 hours. Revision cadence? Weekly for pilot SOPs, monthly after stabilization. Rollback criteria? If an SOP causes 2 or more overrides in a week, tag it under review and pause automation or reliance on it until corrected.
And keep a log of overrides and exceptions as data. A single column in a spreadsheet works. Track the scenario, the override, reason, and the person who made the override. That feed turns tribal knowledge into signal for the SOP Factory. You'll quickly see patterns that require a decision gate or a missing prerequisite.
All right, team. Now for the fun part, a short live role play. We'll simulate a messy staff clip and then draft a minimal SOP on air and show how the human verification checklist looks. Stryker, can you read the redacted staff clip as if we captured it from a delivery coordinator explaining how they process refunds? Keep it realistic and a little messy.
Sure. Here's the redacted clip. So if a customer emails about a double charge, I usually look in Stripe, find the charge, then I sometimes refund. Depends. If the customer asks for proof, I send the screenshot. Oh, and sometimes the finance team wants the order ID first, so I message Sam. That's our raw, redacted input. Notice how many vague words. Sometimes, usually, depends.
Great. Now let's turn that into a one-page SOP draft. I'll read the template lines and we'll fill them in. Purpose: process verified double charge refund requests. Prerequisites: access to Stripe, access to the orders dashboard, and the customer's ticket ID. Steps: Step 1, confirm duplicate charge in Stripe by matching amount and timestamp. Step 2, verify order ID in orders dashboard. Step 3, issue full refund in Stripe and copy refund ID to ticket. Step 4, send templated response with what to expect and the refund ID. Decision gate: if order ID is missing, escalate to finance within 1 hour. Success criteria: refund ID added to ticket and customer notified within 2 hours. Owner, delivery coordinator. That's crisp and testable.
Acceptance checklist. 1. A peer runs the SOP and completes steps 1 through 4 on a test ticket within 48 hours. 2. The ticket contains the refund ID and templated response. 3. No misrouted messages or PII leaks occurred during the draft flow. If any item fails, annotate the failing step and retest. Also add a short what to say microscript for the message to customers. We've processed your refund. Your refund ID is XXXX. Expect it in 3 to 5 business days. That reduces variance in customer communication.
Operational safety note. When you paste examples into the template, remove real identifiers and replace them with tokens like customer123. Keep a local mapping on the owner's device if you must reconcile later. And when you run acceptance tests that require live data, use sandbox or masked records whenever possible. Clarity achieved. No PII in shared drafts.
One more technical tip for the live draft. Keep a version field at the top of the SOP and a one-line "why this changed" note each edit. It avoids the "why did this step get removed" conversation later. If you automate enforcement, tie checks to the version so you can roll back without reworking the entire flow. Deploying this kind of lightweight versioning saves hours in debugging later.
Nice. As we wrap this section up, let's make governance practical. Nova, Pulse, what does a 21-day pilot look like in real calendar steps? Break it down for a busy founder who wants quick wins.
Week 1. Discover and capture. Identify 5 failure hotspots. Choose one enthusiastic owner per process and capture short evidence bundles, voice memo or screen clip with automatic redaction. Week 2. Draft and test. Convert redacted transcripts into SOP drafts. Run acceptance tests within 48 hours. Log overrides and iterate. Week 3. Stabilize and scale. Review override logs. Finalize versions. Assign ongoing review cadence and train the next team member to be an owner. That's the core loop.
And operationally, keep it voluntary during the pilot. Celebrate wins publicly and reward contributors with a small recognition, shout-outs in a team meeting or a $50 gift card. That builds social proof and reduces resistance. Remove the friction. Provide a one-click capture button and a simple form so people can record in 90 seconds or less.
Perfect. Before we close, let's give listeners 3 immediate plays they can run this week, each actionable in under an hour.
Play 1, the capture probe. Pick one recurring customer problem, record a 60 to 90-second voice memo of the person who owns it explaining what they do, run an automatic redaction, and save the redacted transcript as draft B0.
Play 2, the minimal SOP draft. Using our template, write a one-page SOP from that redacted transcript. Purpose, prerequisites, step list, decision gate, and success criteria. Keep each step one sentence.
Play 3, the 48-hour acceptance test. Assign a peer to run a single acceptance check within 48 hours. Log the outcome and any overrides. If it passes, mark the SOP as pilot live and schedule weekly review for 3 weeks. If it fails, iterate immediately.
One last reminder on safety and quality. Enforce redaction, keep raw evidence local, require the acceptance test, and treat overrides as signals, not failures. Those 4 guardrails keep the SOP Factory practical and privacy first.
That's our blueprint. If you want the template, the redaction checklist, and a starter pack to run the 21-day pilot, head to apexblue.com/SOP Factory. Download the starter kit, pick your first capture probe, and start building a living SOP library that actually works. Thanks to Nova, Stryker, and Pulse for laying out the how-to. Remember, the goal is to scale without losing the human judgment that makes your company special. Stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.
And quick sign-off, when you get those first acceptance passes, tell someone on the team. Celebrate it. Order creates momentum. Let the process lead.